I'm Grannon, and this is BINBUSTER, where I buy, watch, and review a bunch of bin movies for you. Today's movie is the Kevin James movie, Here Comes the Boom. Kevin James plays a guy named Mr. Voss. No one fights for his students like Mr. Voss. A high school biology teacher moonlights as a mixed martial artist in an effort to raise money for the school's music program. Yeah, it has hilarity written all over it, folks. Anyways, I'll give you the good, the bad, and I'll give you my thoughts and the ratings on this movie here in a little bit. But first, let's go through the good. The humor. I don't know about you guys, but I find Kevin James to be fun. This movie, Paul Blart Mall Cop, King of Queens, just make me laugh. He's very personable, Kevin James. He's down to earth. He's like a guy who I would hang out with. In fact, hey, Kevin, you want to hang out with me? We're kind of the same, dude. Oh, sure, I'll hang out with you, Graydon. Oh, sweet. We'll go hang out. Well, I just saw your movie, Here Comes the Boom. Would you mind signing the box for me? No, I won't. You won't sign it, or you don't mind? I don't mind. Okay, thanks. You heard it here, folks. Kevin James is going to sign this for me. I wish. But anyways, he's personable. He generally seems to be a nice guy. He cares for everyone around him. That's Kevin James as a person, or at least what I view him as in everything I've seen him. He cares for the people around him. Paul Blart Mall Cop, you see that. This movie, you see that. It takes a special person to do that. Hey, look at Grown Ups. He plays a friend of Adam Sandler's in there, and I now pronounce it Chuck and Larry. He ends up marrying Adam Sandler because he cares more about his family's insurance than anything else. I mean, that's the type of guy Kevin James is. Do I know him outside of this movie? No. I'm just going on by what his career has shown me thus far. The director seems to have matured a lot since Waterboy. Yes, same director as this did The Waterboy and The Wedding Singer, other Adam Sandler films. And that's a very good thing that he has matured since then. We're not getting the childish humor like we got in those movies. I am the Waterboy. I have a wooden spoon. Yeah, we don't get that childish stuff in here. The comedies here are actually kind of mature. It's more slapsticky at times. It's a lot more slapsticky at times, but that works with James's personality. He, like I said in the synopsis, he decides to go to MMA to help the music program in his school. He does Henry Winkler's music program is failing. They're going to cut funding. They're going to cut funding in this film for the music program. So he decides, he does it. He takes up night school to try and help raise money. Well, one of the classmates in there, one of the students in there, I almost said kids, they're not kids, they're adults, in the citizenship class, says, hey, let's watch a fight. He invites him over to study. They watch a fight. He goes, you make 10 grand just for losing. He's like, losing? I won't. Sign me up for MMA. I used to wrestle. As a guy who used to play high school and college sports, high school wrestling is nothing like MMA. Not at all. He's in for a world of hurt, folks. But anyways, he finds out about that. His second fight happens in the rain. His first fight, he makes like maybe $100. This is a small fight. Second one happens in the rain, and he's falling down everywhere. They're yelling at him, use the sliding to your advantage. Roll over him, slide on top of him. That way. Slapstick is always funny. Slowly he gets the money he needs as he raises it. Selma Hayek replacing his shoulder. When Wazowski was hilarious, she goes, she has his arm up like this, and she grabs it and goes, I've never done this before. And she yanks it, and he's like, ah! And she like kicks him onto the ground. It's hilarious. Selma Hayek knows her comedy too. So you better watch her out. You better watch her in other films too, because she will be pretty well in the comedy scene. I still like her in, what is that? From Dusk Till Dawn with George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino. The kids at school start believing in Mr. Voss. he starts caring about teaching again, to where he becomes what he was 8 years ago, the teacher of the year. The kids, when he gets into the UFC fight, it's found out that the one school administrator that was on his side was embezzling all the money and took all the money there. So now he decides he needs to win. And in order to win, he needs inspiration. That inspiration comes when the students show up. I assume that this was a planned field trip. The students show up with Selma Hayek's nurse, and they lead him in a song to the ring, to the square circle, the octagon, that's what it is, the octagon. Squared circle, ring, whatever you want to call it. The teachers are at the school watching it. So is the principal that wanted to cut the program and thought he could never do it. He has changed the outlook of the school for the better. These kids love going here. He loves teaching. The entire school's attitude has started changing. All because Mr. Voss decided he wasn't going to take it anymore. Despite the Fonz, yes, Henry Winkler's in here. So the Fonz is right there. There's the Fonz. Despite the Fonz's job on the line, his pep talk about being an inspiration is very important. In any movie, there's always this, in any sports movie, there's always this time when someone's in an inspiration. And him saying, it's not something we should live by, but it also motivates Voss in his UFC fight. He goes, you say I'm your inspiration. No, you inspire me. You did all this because you believed in me and believed in these kids. And that is amazing. That spurs him on to win his UFC fight, to get the money that he needs to save the music program. Hey. The bads. It's kind of very predictable. Like the night school Voss picks up. It doesn't go well. You know it's not going to go well. He's not going to make enough money. So thus, you know he's going to UFC fight. 2, you know he's going to start small and loses fights, get lucky, win one, and go on until unlikely he becomes into the UFC. Very predictable in that route, because you know they're not going to make this movie about him failing at raising the money to save the music program, because music programs are important in schools, folks. He wins his debut in the UFC, and that's how this movie is predictable. And that's pretty much the only bad I have in this movie. A movie that makes you laugh over and over again at the same things, that's a sign of a very good comedy. This is one of those movies. I recommend this movie if you're looking for a laugh and a good time and looking for a good family film. Here comes the boom. I give it 3 stars. It's not the best comedy in the world. It's not the worst comedy in the world. It's a good comedy. It's a middle-of-the-road good comedy. Here comes the boom with Kevin James, Henry Winkler, and Selma Hayek. Find it at your local dollar store. Yeah, I bought this at the Dollar Tree a couple months ago. I think I have the video up here. I think it was my latest haul. Yeah, it was May's haul. It's right up there. I bought this at the Dollar Tree. Keep an eye out for this. If you find it, buy it. It's worth the investment. And as always, I'm Graydon. This has been Buster. Remember to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification for more videos like this. I just want to say thank you to everyone who spread the word on Centigrade. For those of you that haven't followed my social media, I got a post saying thank you for your review by the writer of Centigrade. That's amazing for the small channel. I would just want to say thank you to everyone who shared that on all social media platforms. Thank you very much. I can't do this without you guys. And I would sound off down below, guys. What is your favorite Kevin James film? Or anything Kevin James has ever been in. What's your favorite thing with him? Sound off down below with that. Let's start a conversation up. And as always, I'm Graydon. This right here is BINBUSTER. I just had a movie night. And remember to dive right in.